Okay, well, we're going to do something a little different today. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm just sitting here sewing on this small leather case, and I thought I would take a few minutes to answer the top 10 leatherworking questions that I routinely get asked. These are in no particular order, and if you have a question that I don't answer, feel free to drop it down in the comment section below. I'll see what I can do about answering you promptly. And without any further delay, let's get started. Question number 1. How did you learn how to do leatherworking? Well, I am completely self-taught. Everything from designing to cutting to stitching to finishing to understanding the grades of leather, all of that is self-taught. So it's fairly obvious that if I can do it, anybody can do it. Following up on that is question number 2. Is leatherworking hard to learn? Well, is playing the guitar or skateboarding hard to learn? You get out of anything what you put into it. Every project gets a little easier the more that you do the small individual tasks. And all of your projects will get better with practice and time. But just like with anything else, you have to put in the hours, you have to put in the research. It's a very hands-on hobby. So the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. Question number 3. What do you do with the projects that you mess up? Some of them get recycled into different projects, and some of them get trashed. I think that's one of the things that a lot of people don't understand about this hobby, is that you can't be afraid to make mistakes. Just trash the project if you have to. Because sometimes there's going to be that point beyond which a project just simply can't be fixed anymore. A lot of the times you can still break it down into its component parts and save stuff, but, if you get too frustrated, there's always the trash can. Question number 4. Is leatherworking expensive? Well, yes, it is. It didn't used to be, but it is now, just like everything else. Question number 5. Is using a craft store leather punch all kit real leatherworking? And I think what the person was referring to is one of those, you'll see them at like Hobby Lobby or Michael's and stuff like that. They're the wooden handled punch style stitching tools. I think that's what this person was referring to. And my answer to that question would be, are you working with leather? Are you making something that you like? To me, the question seems to answer itself. I absolutely despise elitists and gatekeepers. And my opinion is, if you're working with leather, then you're a real leather worker. End of discussion. Question number 6 here. Do you have a dedicated leather workshop? Boy, I sure wish I did. But no, it's the same space where I do all my other projects. In fact, I've done leatherworking, typically sewing, sitting on the couch, in the car, in bed, wherever I can find the time. I'm sitting here sewing this little case right now, sitting at the desk in my office. Despite what you might see on YouTube, a dedicated shop for any hobby does not make you more or less professional. It's the quality of the item you produce. Moving right along, we have question number 7. Do you hand sew everything? Yes, I do, absolutely. Every single project, from the smallest pouch to the largest messenger bag, is all hand stitched, one stitch at a time. I used to own one of those Chinese cobbler machines, but I never really used it, so I sold it. To me, there's just something very zen-like about hand sewing leather, especially once you get into the flow. So I enjoy it. I find it very relaxing, very calming. While it may be extremely time-consuming, it's believe it or not, one of the joys of leatherworking to me is the hand stitching, and I just think it speaks to quality. Question number 8: do you use an airbrush for leather dye? Sometimes, but rarely these days. I find it faster to dye leather with the wool daubers, unless it's an absolutely huge piece and you're afraid of getting streaks. There's way less cleanup with using the daubers. And to me, I'm dyeing a lot of things in individual pieces before I sew them together, so it's fairly simple. But if you do want a more consistent coverage and a better finish, using an airbrush or the dip technique, quite frankly, is always going to give you a better finish. Question number 9: do you sell what you make? About 75% of it, yeah, I do. I either sell it locally, or you might find a one-off prototype on our coffee page. Yeah, check the link in the description below. And sometimes I even just give items away. It all depends on what kind of mood I'm in at any given moment. Sometimes all it takes is somebody to ask, and if I'm in the right mood, I'll go ahead and give it to them. But a lot of the larger items I've made in the past, oh yeah, all of those have been sold. The large archery quivers that I've made have all been sold. A lot of the messenger bags I've made, the shoulder bags, whatever you call them, those mat bags, all sold. And question number 10, lastly: do you do commissions, or will you make me this or that, whatever? No, I do not do commissions. I find absolutely zero joy in being on a deadline when I'm making leather projects. That's not what this hobby is about to me. If I do make something and somebody likes it, of course they can buy that specific one-off item if they want to, if I don't happen to need it for myself. But I do not do commissions where people are expecting a specific item in a specific time frame. Personally, I enjoy making whatever pops into my mind at any given moment. So that's kind of how I do things. And if you want a specific handmade leather item, I would personally suggest that you refer back to the first couple questions on this list and learn how to do the hobby yourself. So anyway, I hope these 10 answers gave you some insight into the leatherworking process as I see it. Again, if you still have questions, feel free to drop them down below and I will do a follow-up video if I need to. Until then, if you're interested in a beginner-friendly leather project, then you can check out the video right here. And maybe, just maybe, I'll see you on the next video.